Good day, gamers. Fortain here, and welcome to episode 26 of Minecraft StoneBlock. Hello, everyone. Oh, I am doing well, and I hope you're doing well as well. Today, we are going to be working on making a few new generators to be able to continue producing power for all the zany machines that we're making here. We are going to continue on our quest to get the highest tier of reborn storage drives that we can for refined storage. And we just might be heading to another dimension. We'll have to see how things go. Yes, I'm doing well, and I hope you're doing well as well. Only real kerfuffle today has been the fact of, in our neighborhood, the power company has been doing some work in reinforcing the different power poles and stuff like that, which is fine, and it was to be expected. Unfortunately, it did turn off the power to our neighborhood for a few hours at like 9 in the morning, and my wife and I, considering we usually work evenings, we're asleep when that kind of thing happens. So to be woken up by the power supply for my computer setup beeping loudly at the fact that it's now running on the battery, and then like all the other sounds in the apartment turning off, like the air conditioners, the fans, and things like that, it makes for a little bit of a tiredness, but thankfully enough, I'm doing fine, and the power came back about 2 hours later, so it wasn't off for a long amount of time, but it was enough to be like, what's going, oh yeah, the power is off, because they're doing all the upgrades and things like that. So there's a part of me that's a little tired today, but I'm actually doing pretty good, all things considered. I'm looking forward to getting some shenanigans done. Just giving some updates here. I've been sieving a bunch of materials. As you can see, I've got some redstone in here, and very importantly, I've got some Certus quartz that I can take over here to the crusher, crush all of this up into the Certus quartz dust that we've been needing an absolute tonnage of for making all of the silicone for making these reborn storage drives. I've also been doing, continuing to do some off-camera grinding. I've been doing some more prep work to get more materials for that, which I will show off up here. Head all the way to the top and show you what materials I've been grinding so far. This is now much fuller than it was at the end of the previous episode. We got a fair amount of iron, a fair amount of redstone, which we have some more redstone with the chickens, in addition to that amount that we just got. Plenty of blocks of quartz-enriched iron. I made some more of the basic processors ahead of time, as well as the improved and advanced processors. But you'll notice a very large amount of nether quartz here. Blocks of nether quartz, pieces of nether quartz, and then a ton of nether quartz ore. I neglected to think about the idea previously that I can actually turn, in addition to the Certus quartz, I can grind the nether quartz into quartz powder, and then that becomes silicone. Upon testing that, when I was doing some grinding for materials, I unfortunately realized that that gives you an advancement for doing that. So after losing about an hour's worth of progress off camera grinding materials, because I want as much of to show these things off on camera, I went to the nether, got a bunch of nether quartz ore, just mining regular stuff in the nether, so nothing big or amazing or huge from that. I also mined an absolute crap ton of the soul sand, which you can sieve soul sand into nether quartz as well as gas tiers, so that's why I have all this right here. But I want to show you the fact that I can take this nether quartz and grind it into silicone, which for the moment is going to be my primary source of silicon, is just all of this nether quartz. Now, each of those nether quartz ores when I put it into the enrichment chamber, will give me 6 pieces of nether quartz. Grab my Certus quartz dust out of here. But yeah, you grind the nether quartz into nether quartz dust from Applied Energistics 2. And then I realized, like I said, when picking this up, oh, that gets me an advancement. Bejeweled 2, if we take a look at that, grind down some quartz. So that is listed over here in advancements, Ender IO Basics, Bejeweled 2, grind down some quartz. That's literally all you have to do to get this advancement, is to grind nether quartz into nether quartz dust. So yeah, like I said, it wasn't a big deal. Like, I didn't lose like tons and tons of process. It was about an hour's worth of time grinding materials. So again, not a big deal, but I'm like, I want you all to be able to see that I got that, and this is how you get it. So yeah, but in any event, like I said, we can take this nether quartz dust, smelt it, and now we have more silicone. So I have a very, very large quantity of silicone that I can now generate just from the nether quartz. Previously, I was mostly sieving the Certus quartz dust, sieving for Certus quartz to make Certus quartz dust to get the silicone. But now that I'm using the nether quartz, I'll be able to get it a lot faster. Plus, nether quartz is very useful for making the quartz infused iron that we need for this entire process as well. So I'm kind of getting 2 for 1 with this. Now, when sieving for Certus quartz, I'm also getting redstone, so that is also a 2 for 1. So I'm just going to continue both processes and be able to make things a lot faster. I do still have my redstone chicken going, so that is providing some redstone from that. I do eventually plan on getting the mystical agriculture flowers going, and that will be another source of redstone, but I'm not quite there yet. I can do that stuff now, but I have some other machines that I'd like to make first before getting into that. Speaking of machines, let's go ahead and work on some of that right now. We'll put away this quartz for the moment and then play with all these materials later. The first things that I want to do, and this was part of my testing that I found out when I was, after the previous episode, is as much as my power generation is pretty darn good, the brine generation from Mechanism, it actually eats up a fantabulous amount of power, more than I'm producing right now with my current generators. So I actually need some more generators. So let's make a few more. The first one we're going to be working on is going to be a pretty simple one. It's from Integrated Dynamics, and it's literally just called the generator. So if we take a look, helps if I spell correctly. Yeah, this generator here produces energy from fuel items. Pretty simple. It's going to be the energy battery from Integrated Dynamics and a furnace. The energy battery itself is crystallized mineral chunks, blocks of crystallized mineral, and a block of redstone. Now, I should have in here in ores, yes. I've got plenty of crystallized mineral. I should have enough. Do I already have a furnace made up? I normally don't have a furnace made up, and that's okay. But I do need a block of redstone. And we'll head downstairs to grab some stone to be able to make the furnace. Again, this is just your basic, it burns coal to make power generator. There's going to be a lot of those, and I've got no problem making one of each one just to have them. So the energy battery itself is that simple. Then we need some stone. We're doing pretty well, getting closer and closer to the septuple compressed cobblestone. Not there yet. I've been burning quite a lot of the time from the time in a bottle to get this process to go faster. But for the moment, we are at where we're at. There we go. So we'll go ahead and make our furnace. Combine these two together. and we get the generator. Very nice. We can go ahead and put that away and put that away. Head back upstairs. And we'll be able to add this in. What I intend on doing eventually is I'm going to clean up this generator floor. Obviously, there's some stuff that I need to move around. But I do plan on putting some of the generators that take the same materials together just so I can have one storage spot up at the top where I throw like, so for example, all the stuff that runs on blocks of coal, blocks of charcoal, blocks of coal coke, I'm going to have all sitting next to each other. I'll have one of these storage crates up at the top with item pipes feeding every single generator. And then that way, all I have to do is feed all my blocks of coal coke into the storage crate at the top, and it'll filter down to whichever generator needs it. Same idea with all the generators that run off of lava. I'll have one of like the infinity tanks sitting on top of a fluid pipe. The fluid pipe will then filter down to all the generators that run on lava, and it'll just feed the lava generators all the time. I don't have it set up that way yet, just mainly because I don't have all the generators that I'm going to use made. So I'm just kind of like plugging them in as I go. But yeah, pop this right there. And you just simply take some coal, some charcoal, blocks of coal or charcoal, coal coke. I think it also burns wooden things. You can use that to do it. So if we go and we'll just take like, let's pop a couple blocks of charcoal in it for right now. Just to get some more power going. Come on. Down the ladder, thank you. Just pop that in there. And yeah, it's now generating power. If we take a look, yeah, it's just, again, it generates like 40 RF a tick for the length of the burn time of the block that you put in it. So, yep, again, it's a nice basic generator. Get you started. Doesn't add a whole ton of power to the system, but it's good. Boop, boop, boop. Next thing I would like to do is actually make some more of the generators that are in the quest book here as part of power generation. We've got plenty of them to make, like the Ender Generator, Potion, Pink, Overclocked, and so on. I think I'm going to aim for making probably 3 of them right now, just because I can. Let's head upstairs. We can gather the ingredients to do such things, and then go ahead and make them. So let's see. The first one that I want to make is going to be the Ender Generator. Burns Ender Pearls and Eyes of Ender to generate RF. Easy enough. So if we take a look, we need Ender Pearls, we need Obsidian, a Furnace Generator, and some Redstone. All materials that I have quite an abundance of. I don't have a ton of Ender Pearls here, but I should have some more downstairs, and if not, I can easily make some or get some with the spawner. So let's actually go check that. I can also convert those little ender drops, the little kind of teardrop thing that looks like a gas tier that was right next to the ender pearls. I can convert those into ender pearls in the smeltery, in the Tinker's Construct smeltery. What would you all say if I were to take these ultimate fluid tanks out of this equation and add those infinity tanks? Would you all mind? I don't think you would. And it would store like every drop of experience. Let me check and see. Let's see. I've got plenty of magma. I got plenty of magma cream. Ah, there we go. I knew I had some more ender pearls down here. Good, good, good. Back upstairs we go. I haven't been running this thing all that often. I can just to like, hey, if I want to get specific drops, but there's not really any drops that I've been needing in specific. So I've just kind of been leaving it turned off. All right. So, we need obsidian, redstone, and then the furnace generator itself, which we'll need to make. I am running very low on obsidian, so I do have to be careful. Grab a little bit of redstone, and then we'll make the furnace generator. Let's see, do we have that listed here? Nope, we're just going to do it this way. Boop. Okay, so a machine block, a furnace, redstone, and iron. I should have, yes, some machine blocks already. Good. I'm going to grab some stone just to have on me, just so I don't have to keep going downstairs. I will grab some iron and a touch more redstone. All right. Go grab the stuff to make that. I'll have like maybe a stack or two of cobblestone on me, just so I don't have to keep coming down here each time. That should be enough. Yeah, that's like nearly 2 stacks. Perfect. Okay. The ender generator. We need the furnace generator. We just need a regular furnace. And then we go to the furnace generator. Then we make the ender generator, just like so. Back upstairs. And we got quest complete. The ender generator, perfect. We'll go ahead and claim our crappy prize of the loot chest. And if we set down the ender generator or take a look at the use function, we get 40 RF a tick, making 64,000 RF just from an ender pearl. Or if we combine the ender pearl with some blaze powder, we get the eyes of ender. So it increases the amount of RF you get by quite a lot. You get more per tick, it lasts longer, and overall you get a lot more power. And I've been getting so much blaze powder from sieving as is that I've got no problem using some of it with the ender pearls that I've been getting from killing endermen to just have this feed on nothing but eyes of ender. So why not? But yep, I can just set that down and it'll just go. I do want to kind of take a look at some point these speed upgrades to see if it'll make it so that it generates. I'm fine if it generates power faster. I just don't want it to like not generate as much power overall. You get what I mean? So if it takes, if it takes 10 minutes to burn through something and I get an amount of power, I don't want to have it, generate power for 5 minutes, getting more power, but then less power, more power per tick, but then less power overall. So I do want to kind of keep an eye on that just to make sure it balances out. With the number of generators I'm going to have and I'm going to use, I don't need to worry about the speed of production for power. Just have them all run. Let's see. Next generator we're going to make. Let's do the nether star generator. Burns nether stars for RF. Fair enough. We're going to need wither skeleton skulls, some redstone, another furnace generator, and a nether star. Now I only have 2 nether stars right now. I've only built, well, I've built a wither a few times as we saw previously. I did have to use one of the nether stars that I had to make something. I don't remember what it was off the top of my head, but I know we used it for making something. Those are the wither builders. Another star on toast. Why? What did we use it for? Was it the monolith of spawning? Did we make that? I don't think we did. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, I know we used it to make something. I just don't remember what it was off the top of my head, but that's okay. But yeah, so we do have some nether stars. We can go ahead and easily make that generator. All right. Again, we need the furnace generator, so we need another machine block, which I have. There we go. We are going to need some wither skeleton skulls, which I have plenty here, and can make more with these fragments. So, boop. Make the furnace generator, need the furnace, like so. Then boop, boop, and boop. There we go. Another star generator. That gives us the quest complete. We claim our crappy loot chest, which we shall put away for now. And yeah, set that down. We take a look. 9.6 million. 9.6 million RF in 2 minutes. It generates 4,000 RF a tick. So that's 4K RF a tick. I really hope that my cabling can handle that. Let's see, minus cover. Oh, I can't do. It's gonna get minus facade. There, that's what I'm looking for. Okay, the ultimate universal cable. Capacity is 320 kilojoules per tick. So I want to say that equates to roughly, let's see, 4,000 RF a tick. That's 320K. So that's so 320,000. So I'm good for throughput. I don't have to worry about that. Okay, good. Yeah, so this thing is not going to like burn out my cables or like overfill the cables or anything. It'll handle it just fine. Good, good, good. Didn't mean to mine that block. Thank you. Just making sure. So yeah, eventually what I'll end up doing is either I will use the Wither Builder and then just have it create a bunch of withers that I will then grind with my mob spawner grinder. Or I'll just kill them manually because it's kind of fun. Let's grab some powder. Yeah, we'll grab some blaze powder. Let's do that amount. And we'll just make some Eyes of Ender and get a little extra power generation going. Downstairs. I'm not going to stick the... I don't know. Should I put the singular other nether star I have in here and watch it make power? I mean, 9.6 million RF is definitely very helpful. And it would show the darn thing off. So, you know. Why not? So yeah, the cabling can definitely handle this much power going through it at one time. Yeah, at the moment we've got the survival generator going, we've got the furnace generator going, we've got the culinary generator going. I actually chewed through all of those enchanted books that I had made previously when trying to make enchantments for all of my stuff. I've actually eaten through all of that to generate power. Bam! Okay. This is now... Oh, am I withered? Oh, I'm withered from standing close to this thing. Okay. But yeah, this thing is now making 4,000 RF a tick. And it is burning through this. But that's okay. Well, I guess I'm going to go ahead and stand away from this thing because it's like making the area super toxic. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's stinky. It's stinky in here. Okay, there we go. I was in no danger of actually dying. I just found it very funny to like standing next to this thing. Yeah, you're going to get withered. You're going to get withered. All right, the last one that I'm going to make from this set of 3 is the Frosty generator. Consumes various types of ice and snow to generate RF. Takes some snowballs, and as you'll notice, it takes some ice. Now, I haven't made ice yet. I can, though, with one of the machines that I have. Let me grab some of these snowballs. Did I get any snowballs? I did not, so I will have to be careful. So, train of thought here. I do have a blizz captured in my mob grinder. I can grind up the blizz that drops the snowballs. It also drops the blizz rods. The blizz rods can be grinded up into blizz powder. And I think... No, I was trying to see if there's anything else I could do. I can make it into cryothium dust. But yeah, an easy way for me to get snow is to just be killing the blizz constantly. I also want to say if I put some water around a pure daisy in my Botania setup, I can make snow that way. So that's not a big deal. But I do need to convert this snow into ice. The only real way I have of doing that at the moment is actually going downstairs, if my character could, thank you, and using this compactor over here. Let me grab all these coal balls that I have currently sitting in here for the moment. And let's grab this out of here. Allow it to finish processing. Boop. That's making quite a nice amount of compressed coal balls. But if I put the snow in here, is it in the compactor? Oh, it's the compressor. Excuse me. I thought it was the compactor. Okay. I was thinking of the wrong machine. Okay. As you were, go ahead and continue creating all those, precursors to diamond. I appreciate it. How's this going? That is completely empty. This is now creating ADRF a tick because of the Eyes of Ender. Thank you. All right. I was thinking of the wrong machine, but that's okay because we can make that machine. Okay. So we need to look up ice. And we need the compressor. Compressor seems to be pretty easy to make. It's going to be diorite, andesite, or just smooth stone. A basic machine casing and any of the circuits. Okay. Let's see. I've got plenty of stone. Got that. We are going to need... one of the green circuits, and basic machine casing is just simply any of the iron plates. Okay, cool. So we've got some iron already. We're going to need one of the mechanism green circuits and then iron plates. Okay. So an iron ingot plus an engineer's hammer equals an iron plate. I can also stamp it with the metal press. I can use the compactor to make it. All of these make the exact same amount of iron. So I'm just going to grab the, we'll just grab the engineer's hammer. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Boop. There we go. So now we create the basic machine casing, and then go back here and the compressor, like so. Now we go ahead and plug that into our power system downstairs for the moment. I already made one of those, didn't I? I think I did. I think I made one of those already. Did I not? Maybe I did. So what was I thinking? So we have the compressor. That's how I was originally thinking blaze powder into blaze rod. But that's calling it the compactor. Interesting. That must be where I got kind of goofed up when I was originally thinking I was originally thinking of turning blaze powder into blaze rod. Okay, yeah. Okay, I see my error. I apologize. I see my error. So there's the compactor, which I made to turn blaze powder into blaze rods. And that's what I'm using downstairs to compact my coal. There's also the compressor, which does similar things, turns blaze powder into blaze rods. And it also turns the coal ball into compressed coal. But you can also use this to make the you can also use this to make the snowballs or the snow into ice. Gotcha. One of those situations where you have multiple things named very similar, and when they start sharing recipes, is like, wait a second, didn't I already make one of those? And then you realize, okay. So yeah, now this is filling with power. I put the snow in here. Okay. I see my error. There we go. It's fine. It's not a biggie. I didn't make something again by accident. I just made the compactor, not the compressor. They're also from two different mods. That's Thermal Expansion. This is Industrial Craft 2. But they do, again, have very similar names. And even when you're looking at the icons for them up here, they do look somewhat similar. So, with that all being the case now, we take a look, and then we need to make the, the Frosty generator? Yes, Frosty generator. We need a furnace generator, which means we need a machine block and another furnace. We'll be using up our last machine block here. At least the last one that we've made so far. That gets us a furnace generator, and then that gets us a Frosty generator. Ta-da-da! Frosty generator. Okay, put the stone back. Go ahead and complete that quest. Claim our crappy loot box. That is 3 more generators made for that series. Ooh. And if we take a look at the Frosty generator, we can, let's see. We get power from ice. We get power from packed ice, from snowballs, from snow, and from layers of snow. So yeah, it looks like the most power we're going to get is either from ice or packed ice. Considering 1 snow block is equal to 1 ice, it just, you have to process it. It's not a great generator. You're only getting 1600 RF and it lasts for 2 seconds. So you're not making much power from this, but it is a generator. I will not say it's not. It obviously is a generator. It's just not a great one. But it's there to be used. It's there to be made. And I guess if you're in a snowy biome or a place where you have a lot of access to ice, it could be useful to have this kind of generator. Be like, okay, I have an auto ice tray crafter that automatically generates ice. I can just go out there and mine it with a Silk Touch pickaxe, and I have, infinite amount of ice, because water is infinite and, ice is just hardened water. In that case, sure, that's, it's probably a decent amount of power. And I will use it for at least a little while to make power. But in terms of like having it be a constant source of power for my setup, probably not. But it's made, and that's the important thing. There we go. The next thing I would like to make, since we are getting closer and closer to having the ultimate storage from Reborn Storage, is I want to make, let's see. There's an item in thermal expansion called the Redstone Furnace. Does what it says. It cooks items with RF. There's an augment that I can make called the Pyrolytic Conversion, which allows me to use it to convert coal and wood product, but also coal, into coal coke. Now, obviously, I have the coke oven right here. The coke oven is pretty slow. It's measured in like minutes in terms of how long it takes to convert one block of coal into one block of coal coke. Now, the main reason right now that I want to be making coal coke is for the creosote oil. The creosote oil is what's used to make the treated wood planks, and then with the treated wood planks, I can then make, a bunch of stuff. But most importantly, the garden cloche, which is how I'm planning on growing pretty much an infinite supply of all the different crops that I want to. I set up a whole room just of garden cloches, make sure there's plenty of water in the system, make sure there's plenty of power in the system, and make sure there is an absolute tonnage of fertilizer, so bone meal and such, in the system, and it'll grow all the crops I ever need forever. Once I have all the things that I need to make with treated wood, and therefore that I need to make with creosote oil, I'm not going to need the creosote oil. The creosote oil is going to be essentially a byproduct. And unless I find a machine that allows me to burn the creosote oil to produce power, I'm not going to care really how much creosote oil is made. My needs are going to be switching more towards the coal coke, not the creosote oil. So if we do take a look at this redstone furnace right here, and then we take a look at what it can do with this pyrolytic conversion, allows for pyrolysis and creosote production. Only certain items can be produced. Processing speed is greatly reduced. Well, we don't know how greatly reduced that is yet. We'll see. But as we can see, we can turn hay bales into charcoal. We can turn coal into coal coke with a bit of creosote oil created. The main thing here, and I will show, is a block of coal. A block of coal becomes a block of coal coke with 2,500 millibuckets of creosote oil created. Now, in the coke oven, it is 5,000 millibuckets of creosote oil to one block of coal to coal coke. So I'm only getting half as much creosote oil from this. It's not a big deal because, again, there is a finite amount of creosote oil that I will need for making all the things with treated planks. Once I get to that point, creosote oil becomes a byproduct, and then I need to figure out what to do with it. So if I can make the blocks of coal coke faster, I'm okay with losing the efficiency of creosote oil production if this machine makes coal coke and creosote oil as well faster. So let's go ahead and make a redstone furnace from thermal expansion. It's going to take some bricks, some redstone, copper gears, redstone reception coils, and a machine frame. I have not made much of this stuff in the past, and I haven't made, obviously, any of it on camera. So let's go ahead and start the process. A machine frame is pretty easy. It's iron ingots, glass, and any of the tin gears, which tin gears are just 4 pieces of tin. So I have some iron on me. I can grab a bit of glass from here. I've got redstone, and then I need some tin. That's silver. Where's my tin? Do I have any tin already? I thought I had some tin already kind of crafted, but I don't. That's okay. Tin gear is simple. Boom, 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 boom. Tin gear. So if we take a look at the machine frame, got a machine frame. I do need some brick, specifically the brick blocks. So I do need to smelt up some clay. There we go. I barely ever use clay right now. It's a material that I kind of had to use at one point and then haven't touched in a very long time. Which happens with, especially in modded Minecraft, there are so many times where, you start off with something that you use and you will use so often, and then at a certain point, it's like, I haven't touched it. Let's see, we need some copper gears and a redstone reception coil, which is 2 pieces of redstone and a piece of gold. Got plenty of gold upstairs. That's another thing that I've been getting a lot through sieving is gold, which is nice because I do need it for some of the processors. So we need a piece of gold. We also need some copper, which, there we go. All right, boop, 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 and boop. 2 copper gears. And we need the redstone reception coil. And now we have the redstone furnace. Like so. Pretty easy. Just going to cook the wood stuff into that. Augmentation upgrade required. So we do need to upgrade this. Let's take a look, because I have several machines that are made with thermal expansion. Let's see about upgrading them, because we also do have to make the pyrolytic conversion augment. Copper plates, a redstone servo, which is iron. Okay. Let's take a look. We'll see how things work. So I need some Invar. I need a couple copper plates, which means I will probably want to use the... Oh, I still have the engineer hammer on me. Good, good. There we go. Copper plates. We need some Invar, which I should have. Electrum. Have I not made Invar? I thought I had. Looks like I have not made Invar yet. Let's take a look. Invar is pretty easy to make. It's nickel and iron. We can just make molten Invar. So yeah, it looks like it's a 2-to-1 ratio, 2 iron to 1 nickel. Okay. Am I sure that I have not made Invar? I thought that I had. Maybe I only made enough for a specific task. No, I don't have. I try to keep this stuff as oh, Invar nugget. So I have made Invar. Okay, I must have used the amount that I had created for something specific. Okay. So 2-to-1 iron to nickel. Let's see. Let's do 10 nickel and let's do 20 iron. We'll go ahead and make some Invar. I want to take out the mechanical pipe because I don't want to have this be done. I don't want it to start piping out the fluids before it's done. Put in the ingot cast. Boop and boop. Let that melt. Okay. Pyro. We can go ahead and make the redstone servo. We already got that. We do need a nether brick, which is just 4 nether bricks. I think we have, yes. Say we already have a piece of nether brick. We've mined some from the nether fortress previously. And yes, we're already getting some Invar. Perfect. Go ahead and pour a little bit out to use. We're going to need 4 pieces. 2. Oh, good. We got the exact amounts. It's always good when you get the ratios correct. I've definitely had times where I did not and have had to like juggle fluids in the system here. But yeah, now I'll be able to just pipe this out as ingots. Good. Because of that, and since we know the ratio is correct to where there's nothing missing from it, go ahead, put that on here, and then let me grab my configurator. Configurator. And then just automate this process. Boop, boop. There we go. That's just now going to pull out all the Invar and do with it what it needs to. Okay. Boop, 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 boop. Invar gear. Now we make the pyrolytic conversion. Got it. So let's see how this works. Put down the redstone furnace. We need to upgrade it for the augmentation. Okay. So we need the upgrades from thermal expansion. So we need the hardened upgrade kit, the reinforced upgrade kit, the signalium upgrade kit, and the resonant upgrade kit. It requires tier immediately preceding. That's not too bad. Oh, look, we require Invar. Good thing we just made some Invar. And then a bronze gear. Okay. We can go ahead and do that. I think I have some bronze already made up. Yes, I have some bronze already made up. Cool. And then redstone, which I have redstone on me. Perfecto. Grab some of the Invar. We can go ahead and make ourselves a bronze gear, like so. And we have the hardened upgrade kit. Let's see how this works. Right click it. Hey, there we go. Redstone furnace hardened. So now we have an augmentation slot. I'm assuming when we break this, yes, it stays. I kind of figured, and I was hoping that it would do so. Cool. So now we can add the augmentation pyrolytic conversion. Boop. And there's going to be our tank right there for the creosote oil. Very, very nice. Let's actually take the augment out. So the reinforced is a silver gear, electrum, and we need hardened glass. Let's see how we can make hardened glass. So these are all, let's see, hardened glass. So pyrotheum dust, obsidian dust, and lead dust. Okay, that is going to be, it's not going to be hard, but it is going to be a little bit of a process. Now you can create specific glasses like lumium glass, aluminum glass, but we're just going to go for the hardened glass itself. So yeah, we're going to have to start making pyrotheum dust, obsidian powder. Okay, So we're going to hold off on that for the moment. But at the very least, now we can start making that. I'm assuming if I break this, smelts items, pick it up, cool, the augment stays there. Again, I kind of figured that the augment would stay there. It would be kind of crazy if it didn't. But let's take a look at how quickly, just as it currently stands, how quickly it converts a block of coal into a block of coal coke. We'll plug it in downstairs just to get some power into it. Let us put it, I will put it right here for the moment. We've got our creosote oil tank you can place right next to it, and then our fluid pipe right there to pull fluid out. Perfect. That is now gaining power. And the block of coal, I'm assuming the higher level of the higher the level of the machine, the faster it can go, but I can also possibly create speed upgrades. Yeah, this is a very slow process. I'm not going to sit here for the whole thing. But let's see. Those are the hatchery speed upgrades. That speed upgrade from Tesla Core. That's Draconic Evolution. Let's see. So that just increases that. These are all of the different augments that you can put on the machines. The hardened kits. Okay, that's fine. We'll look into it more. But I mean, actually, we've seen a little bit of progress here. So just in of itself, this is already going a little faster than the coal coke oven, or the coke oven, I should say. Good to know, but I will just let this run, do its thing. I think last but not least, since we're at about 50-ish minutes right now, give or take, I would like to go ahead and continue working on all of this stuff for reborn storage. Let me go ahead and empty out my inventory here, just so I have all the room that I can for all the pieces that I'm going to need. Put away the copper, put away the tin. We'll put the Invar. Let's put the Invar right here for the moment because I need that silicone. I need the iron on me. I don't need the stone. Okay. So, we are going to go back to reborn storage. And we're going to be working through making these storage parts. We've got one of the 10,024. Our goal is to make the 16,384. And we are doing that by combining a ton of these 1Ks into 4K, 16K. Let's see if, can I just look for, there we go, storage parts. Perfect. All right. Let's see, 1Ks. So we're going to need some quartz enriched iron, these basic processors, and redstone. So get some quartz enriched iron. Open up a few blocks of it. Like so. We've got the blocks of redstone. We've got some silicone, and we've got some basic processors. Okay. 1Ks become 4Ks. We are missing the basic processor. Make some more. All right. So let's make one more of these. We need glass. Grab some glass. Let's also grab some iron. Some regular iron. We'll make one more of these to make one more of these. Okay, we're at the 4Ks. The 4Ks then become 16s. We need the improved processors for those. Those take gold. So we're going to be using a bunch of gold for that. All right. Now we are out of the gold processors. So processor binding. Stack of gold. Let's actually take 2 stacks of processor binding. There we go. And then we've got silicone. Perfect. Nope, we're good. Okay. And we'll make 2 stacks of that, the improved processor. Head downstairs and smelt this up. This may be a tad bit of a longer episode just because I want to burn through as much of this material as I can today to get closer to the ultimate goal. All right, there's our 1024. We're looking to make 3 of these because once we have 3 of these, we can make the 4096. All right. 16Ks, we've used up all of that. The 16Ks now require the advanced processor. We're just going to leave these doors open for right now, just so I don't keep opening and closing them. We'll grab our advanced processors. Use becomes that. Use becomes that. Okay, so we got 2 more of the 256s. To make this, we're going to need 3. To make this, we're going to need 2 more. Okay. 15. That becomes the 4Ks. 4Ks become, let's see, we're out of quartz enriched iron. So let's see. Grab some blocks to deconstruct. There we go. We need 1 more of those, which means we need 3 more of these. We need more silicon. Boop. We're going to make 1, 2, 3 of the 4Ks. Or excuse me, the 1K becomes 4K. The 4K becomes 16K. The 16K becomes a 64K. Okay, so we need 3 becomes 9 becomes 27. So we're going to need 27 more of the 1Ks. We need more glass. Put that right there just to make it easier to see. Let's see, more silicone, please, and thank you. And I have, again, I have all this quartz that I can grind into more silicone. We're up to 25. We need more redstone. Pop open some blocks of redstone. Oops. Gotta right click there. There we go. 27 becomes 9, becomes 3, becomes 1, And that becomes another 256. We take the 3 256s, we make a 1024. We now have a second 1024. Of course, it's going to take 3 1024s to make a 496. So, grabbing the calculator here, because everything is just being multiplied by 3 here. So we need one more of the 1024s. 3, 9, let's see. 9, that means we need 27, which means we need 81, which means we need 243 of the 1Ks. Let's start it up. 243. We need more glass. Boop, boop. Now we need more silicone. All right, so now we're getting into this part of needing silicone. I'm actually going to take a block of quartz downstairs, and we're going to grind it up into silicone. What do we need now? We need redstone. Pop open a few more blocks of redstone. Okay, we're at 41. Okay, no more silicone in here. Got it. Again, I do have some going with the chickens. I want to grab the stuff from the chickens last. That way those are just continuing to be produced while I'm going through all of these other materials. So these blocks of quartz become regular nether quartz. And now that I've gotten the advancement on camera for grinding the nether quartz, grinding for nether quartz dust, I can go ahead and just grind this stuff off camera. Just so I've got the silicone already made, so you all won't need to see this step again. So next time I work on this, it'll just be a chest full of silicone and not a bunch of quartz that I have to prepare a couple times to get it to be what I need it. But as before, I wanted you all to see getting that advancement to see exactly how you do it. Go. The number to get is 243. So 4 stacks. Almost 4 stacks of 1K storage parts. Grind that up. There we go. All right. 1K storage parts. We are now low on glass. Back upstairs we go. Up. Couple stacks of glass. And now we need redstone. Crack that open. Oop. I'll grab that in a second. Thank you. More glass. We're getting there by chunks. We are getting there. Okay, I'm gonna put that there. We're not needing as much iron at the moment, so I can empty my inventory a little bit by putting iron there, as well as the quartz enriched iron, just to make more room for things that I'm currently using. The same can be said about the improved processors, because we're not using them at the second, or the advanced processors. The basics can also go right here because the basics are not required. It is just the silicone. So more blocks of quartz to become silicone. Twisting my ankle. There we go. Crush all this. And as a matter of fact, I might as well go ahead and grab several more blocks, because this is going to be the stopping point for a bit, is just constantly needing more and more silicone. So I might as well go ahead and grind up a bunch of it now, since I'm currently doing this step. Of course, these machines are running as fast as they can. Melt that up. Out of curiosity, I don't know if this works or not, but I'm just curious to see. Can the time in a bottle be used on this? Yes, yes it can. All right. Very interesting. Yeah, because you can see how fast it is going as is. Time in a bottle. Yeah, that is definitely an increase. So, good to know. You can make these things tick a lot faster. Again, since most of this work is going to be done off camera now, I'm not too worried about, needing to make it tick faster with the time in the bottle, but it is good to know that I can do that if I require it. Oh. So I don't even need to grind this to nether quartz powder? I can just... I wish I had realized that before, that this refines... I don't need to grind it into the quartz dust. I could just use it directly as silicone. Well then. I mean, this silicone, yeah, it does the same thing. Okay. Well, that's good to know. That saves me a step. I don't even need to be grinding this quartz into quartz dust. Back to it then, I guess. I do need the quartz enriched iron for this. Alright, well, good to know. Let's just go ahead and have that smelt. And let's go grab some more quartz enriched iron. There we go. Quartz enriched iron. The 26. Now we're missing the glass. More quartz enriched iron. And there's times where you look at a recipe and be like, oh, okay, that's how that recipe works. That's where I need to get to for this recipe. And then, especially when it comes to like, okay, I know this machine, I know how to do that. You then kind of like don't look to see, like for the quartz, for example, I didn't realize that you don't have to grind the nether quartz into the quartz dust to then smelt into silicone. You can just go directly from the quartz to silicone. I didn't realize that because it was showing the steps in different orders. That's okay. Let's see. Oh, I need glass. Boop. Alrighty, we need redstone. Obviously getting very low on redstone. Okay, we're up to 3 stacks of 1K storage parts. We need more glass again. Okay, we are fast approaching 4 full stacks, which 4 full stacks is actually a little over the 243 that I needed. But we'll make 4 full stacks, and then any overage will just lend itself to the next cycle of this. Okay. Perfect. 4 full stacks. Nice. Okay. The 64s, now with the basic processors, become 4Ks. So now we definitely need the basic processors. Boop. That's 46 of the 4Ks. What are we missing now? Quartz enriched iron. Got it. Done. All right. We now need more basic processor. So iron, redstone, silicone, and processor binding. Let's do processor. That's the quartz enriched iron. So regular iron. And let's open up a couple things of the iron here. There we go. Like so. Silicone, which we have downstairs. Processor binding. And the redstone, which we now see is become the limiting factor. So we're going to go to our last supply of redstone. The chickens here. Grab the last bit of redstone we will have for today. And go ahead and make some more of those basic processors. I said I want to get as far down this chain as I can today using the materials we've been gathering. All right. Thank you for that silicon. We're going to make that and that. Thank you. And smelt this raw basic processor into the regular processors. There we go. Speed this up. And speed that up. There we go. All right. There we go. So we are 1 over with 4 full stacks. We are 1 over on the 1K storage parts. Again, not a problem. That'll be used for the next cycle. These 4Ks will then become 16Ks. We just need to get the advanced processors, the gold ones. Means these last bit of basics go away. Grab the improved 4K. Now are we need more improved processor. Gotcha. The improved is the gold, as well as some processor binding. So we'll grab 2 stacks of that. But we see we have reached our other, once again, the limiting factor is redstone. So we are going to make that. Back downstairs we go to smelt this. Ahead and smelt our raw improved processor here. There we go. And there we go. So now we are 1 over on the 1K and the 4K. Not a problem. The 16Ks become the 64 with the advanced processors, the diamond ones. We'll grab that. Little stutter there, but nothing too bad. There's our 64Ks. And then we go to our 256s. 256 becomes the 1024. And now you see where this is going. The 1024 becomes a 4096. We have now inched our way closer to the 16384K. So, just to do the quick bit of math for the final thing, we're not going to be continuing. This is where we're going to be ending off here. So we need 2 more of these 4096s to make the 16. So the 4096 is 3, which is 9, which is 27, which is 81, which is 243, which is 729. So our next bit of crafting, we're going to need enough materials to make 729 of the 1K storage parts. That is almost 12 full stacks of these 1K storage parts. So we're gonna need a lot of materials. Again, I think our most limiting factor is simply the redstone. We are going to definitely need ways to get a lot of redstone, probably much faster than simply sieving it, which we've been getting a fair amount from sieving, but we need it in, you know, much more gigantic quantities than what we've been getting. Put away our 16K part, our 4K part, and our 1K. So yeah, redstone is definitely the limiting factor. Could it be that it's time to start looking into mystical agriculture to create ourselves some redstone? I mean, if we get redstone essence from mystic agriculture, that will definitely be able to make redstone. It's a tier 3 seed, which means we need intermediate essence and a tier 3 crafting seed, which is going down the line there. Or do we need to visit ourselves a new dimension? Do we need to perhaps visit ourselves a mining dimension? If we take a look at the mining multi-tool here, takes 2 quintuples, compressed cobblestone, stone pickaxe, a flint and steel, and a stick. And then we need to make portal frames by combining the multi-tool with that. I know the episode's running a little long. I kind of want to see what this looks like. Let's go ahead. And again, I do understand this episode's running a little long, and I apologize. But I kind of want to see what this mining dimension looks like real quick, if possible. So we need what? 2 quintuples. I got 2 quintuples. And I already have some, yeah, I have some cobblestone upstairs. Thank you. And we need a flint and steel. So 1 piece of iron. And a piece of flint. Boop. I need some sticks. That's right. Grab some sticks. Okay. Simple stone pick and a simple flint and steel makes the mining multi-tool from Aroma 1997's Dimension World. I believe there is a quest associated. Yes, Aroma Mining Dimension. Mining Dimension. So we need to make 10 portal frames. Okay. The portal frame itself is just... is it regular stone? Yeah, it's just regular stone. I already have some regular smelted stone. So... is it not stone? Is it cobblestone? No. Is it specifically chiseled stone? Okay, it is... it appears to be specifically chiseled stone. Sure, I got a chisel. 10 stone. We need... let's do this. Seamless double slab. There. 10 portal frames. Alrighty. Put that away. Put that away. We'll grab ourselves our crappy loot chest. And let's see what this place has. I'm not going to dive in very deeply or anything. We'll just go ahead and build it. Oh, is it 1, 2, 3, 4? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm assuming it's got to be built roughly in the same way a nether portal does. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we'll just put these here. 9, 10. Right click on it, possibly. Yep. To go through the portal, you have to sneak in it. Okay, if I break this block, I get the block back. The portal's gone. Perfect. Just in case I need to shut the portal down. All right. Let's see where this goes. I've never used this mod. I've never been to this dimension as part of any mod pack. Let's see where it takes us. Yee! Loading terrain. Oh. Oh, well. Whoops. Back. Go back. Run it back. Run it back. Okay. I shifted because I'm like, okay, let me just kind of shift here for a moment. And I was still in the portal. Well then. There's a giant boulder. We're at Y92. Simple corn. We've got villagers. We've got a meteor strike here. That's going to be the like the skystone stuff. We got ore. We got coal ore, copper ore. There's no lava above us anymore. There's grass. There's trees. There's plants. There's nature. Look what I've been missing here. There's a very interesting furrow dug out from the ground here. Does this just like lead to a cave? Oh, apparently it does. Hi there. Some weird particles? Just like a windy cave or something? Oh, we got copper. We got clay ore, which is something specific to this realm. Yeah. We have natural trees. We have bushes. Can you plant this? Nope, you just eat it. That's fine. Huh. Very interesting. It's interesting that it just starts off in a it starts off at the very top of a town here. There's some blueberry bushes and stuff. Yeah, so this is going to be something interesting to oh no. Oh no, you see what I see here. There's something dangerous here. There's a chance cube. These are danger incarnate. These can do a variety of things. Spawn a bunch of stuff. Create a bunch of things. Oh, Marsh Hive. Meadows Hive from Forestry. Neat. Maybe that's what the particulates were over there. There's like a beehive in the wall or something. The fact that chance cubes grow here, or at the very least spawn here naturally, is, you know, somewhat worrisome. But could, you know, are a fair place to have these things be. But yeah, I think this dimension is definitely going to warrant some exploring. Sticky ore. This dimension is definitely going to warrant some exploration. But that'll be for next time. Go ahead and get myself back here to the portal. Oh, this is going to be interesting to explore and then potentially have just a ton of ore being able to be mined from this place. Up. Up. Hey, we made it. Plus also, that means we got villagers to trade with, which will be nice. I kind of feel bad. My portal was built accidentally on top of their well here. Well, back to the overworld we go. And we'll break the portal right now just to make sure nothing can go backwards or forwards through it. Interesting. But until next time, thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you have a good day and good game.